ultimately gives you confidence. So confidence doesn't have to come, from your personality. It doesn't have to be a personality trait. It can very much come from getting used to a situation and doing it over and over and over again. And that's how you can build confidence. Like if you feel the need to smile at every person walking by, then have a look on why that is. Where does that come from? Hello everybody, how is it going? It's me and my homeboy Jack today. And I wanted to make this video to say that I will be doing a quick series, or a short and sweet series of self-defense techniques, which are super basic, starting with a stance and punches and knees and sensitive points that you can hit if you are ever in a situation that is potentially dangerous for you. This is for everybody. I think it's probably gonna be more interesting for women just because I am a woman and I'm gonna be talking from my personal experience, and I'm gonna be talking from my experience in fighting Muay Thai and in training Krav Maga, and based on my encounters that I had in the past. There was not ever, thankfully, a situation which escalated or anything, but there were a few situations where I thought, this could be dangerous right now. So I will be starting with the absolute fundamental basic, which also answers a question that had been asked in the comments, which is, I am very shy. How can I get into the mindset of actually hurting somebody? So that had been the question. And my answer to this is that confidence can be inherent in a person, but I believe that confidence is what you do. It's not so much what you are, but it is what you do. So maybe you remember your first day at work, or you remember the first day in which you learned a new skill, and you had been a total beginner. You were likely very insecure in what you were doing, and maybe you're working a couple of years now in the same job, or maybe you are doing the thing that you have started, you continue doing it, and now you're very confident. And that is because you're not going into a situation and you're confident right away. That's super weird. Some people are like that, which great. But I don't think it's the norm. Confidence is something that can very much be learned, and when it comes to self-defense, you will learn to be confident by preparing yourself and training the same things over and over and over again. So it's like a sort of habituation that happens. I said in previous videos that you should have a self-defense instructor, Krav Maga instructor, maybe you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but speaking about self-defense now, you should have somebody who is also teaching you those things that have a lot to do with defending your boundaries. And that only goes when you cannot run away, because self-defense rule number one, if you can run away, then you go and you run away. Okay, but that's not what we're really talking about in this series. We're talking about the situation where actually you are not able to go away. So that's why I'm like so confrontational in what's going to happen in the action. But ideally, like rule number one, look back. Can you run? Run. So and that's also what you will learn in self-defense when you're doing those classes. But if you're a very shy person and you are scared of ever, being in a situation where it is potentially dangerous for you, then you just have to repeat the situation a lot of times, or the potential situation a lot of times, so you are prepared for it. And another thing which has a lot to do actually with my area in psychology is this thing that got to do with mindset, that got to do with conditioning yourself for certain situations, which has a lot to do with building the courage, which has a lot to do with defending your boundaries. And I think in society as a whole, we do have that false dichotomy that we are either shy or we are confident or we're somewhere in between. But when you look at life, it's rarely like that. I think generally I'm a very confident person, but there are many situations where I find myself very insecure, and I am absolutely sure I'm not the only one. So think about yourself and think about your life and think about the situations in which you are a confident person, in which you are very self-assured. How did you get there? Usually you get there because you just got into that situation so many times that it is a very familiar situation for you. And that's the same when it comes to self-defense. The more you train, the more you prepare, the more you also learn to become clear and listen to your inner voice, the more successful you will be if there's ever going to be a situation where you really do have to defend your boundaries in whichever way. And I would also like to talk about that nice girl syndrome or nice boy syndrome, good boy syndrome, where if we've been raised in a way in which we've been told that we should, always be nice and we should give our cousin, uncle, aunt, whoever whom we don't like, that little kiss and sit on their lap and, just like be nice. We learn in a very young age, in a very crucial age, to override our own instincts. That's not good. So if you're a mother or if you're a father and you have a child and your child does maybe not want to give a hug to one of your friends or one of the family members, then say it is okay, because that's how children learn to have boundaries. That's how children learn to trust their instincts. And it's actually super important. And I think training kids to override their own natural wants and needs and boundaries and not wanting to do something is very dangerous for the future, for like all of the future. It's not a good thing. So don't do that to your kids. And if you have been brought up that way, then it's important that you override that you retrain yourself. Thinking about a situation, for example, something that I used to do years and years ago, when I would be walking in the forest with my dog and there would suddenly be somebody walking, past me, and I would smile at them first, which at the time, but not because I really wanted to, not because I looked at the person, I thought, oh, that looks like a sympathetic person, I want to smile, but it was just like that trained smile, which I don't do anymore. Like now I look at a person, and when the person looks back at me, and when I have a good, gut feeling, I smile at them. If not, I don't smile at them, because I don't have to be nice. Why would I be nice to a person that I don't know? I mean, I'm not being rude to a person, but there's just, no need to be nice to somebody that you don't even know, that you haven't spoken a word with, that is just, walking somewhere in a very lonely area. You don't have to do that. If you want to do that, that's great. But, quite honestly, I would advise you not to do it, because as nice and wonderful as a smile is, it can be interpreted, and it is unfortunately sometimes interpreted in a way that portrays weakness, that is interpreted as weakness. And also ask yourself, why do you feel the need to smile? Is it like a genuine smile, or is it just like a trained, I want to be a nice person smile? So that might sound wild right now, but I'm serious. You don't have to smile at every person that you're seeing. If you feel like you do want to smile, oh, there's my cat. If you feel like you do want to smile because it feels right, then go ahead and smile. But not because you've been trained to do so and you've been trained to always be nice. Maybe you have been in a bar, or just like waiting for whatever, the flight or a train, and somebody walks by and tells you, smile, smile. Why would you have to smile? It looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous when you're just in there for no reason, waiting for your train to come, and you're in the train station like this. You don't have to do that. If you're having a great day, you'll smile naturally, and if you don't feel like smiling, then don't smile. So in this like wild life, we gotta find what is right for us, what feels right for us. And being nice is not necessarily, oh my cat. Being nice is not necessarily what always feels right to us, and it's not something that we should feel obligated to be. By that, I'm not saying like be a, you know, dick to people, obviously not, you know. But yeah, but just be authentic. Learn to be authentic. Learn to listen to yourself, to listen to your voice, to listen what feels right for you. That's also a great confidence builder. And another thing that I really don't want to not notice, another thing that I really don't want to not say is the importance of your posture. And I'm serious. The way that you're standing and the way that you're walking and the way that you're holding yourself and the way that you're interacting with others, strangers, is so important. I said it in the video before. A predator is not looking for an opponent. They're looking for a victim. So if you're sitting or if you're standing straight with your shoulders back, you're looking up, you know, your nose is parallel. I don't know what your nose is, but you're upright. Your whole body is upright, and you're looking another person in the eyes, like right in the eyes without smiling. It sends a signal that you are not cautious, that you are assertive, that you have a hold of the situation, and that you're, focused on the moment, on the present moment. That is a very strong signal and a very strong message. Now, I said it also in other videos, if anything ever happened to you in the past and you had been assaulted, then it is definitely not your fault. Absolutely never the victim's fault, okay? That's super important. So with all of these things, with like the perfect posture and with like the most assertive personality and confident personality, things can happen to everybody. It could happen to everybody. And I'm just trying to find ways to maybe reduce the situation, but it's not gonna eliminate, any danger. And when I say that, it might sound like I'm really, making the world a scary place. And it is. Actually, honestly, the world is a really wonderful and amazing and beautiful place, but it is at the same time also a very scary place. And learning to be authentic also means learning to see those two things. Again, it's like this false dichotomy that it is either beautiful or it is, dangerous and ugly. That you're either confident or you're shy. And you'll find that authenticity in yourself and that like realistic outlook on life when you're really opening up to both. When you're opening up to the light and when you're opening up to the dark, when you're looking into like your own fears and when you're finding your own courage. And I would really love for you to implement both of those things. And I'm gonna sum it up. I will be making a series of different videos in which I am talking about situational awareness, in which I'm talking about the basic self-defense stance, the basic self-defense punches, knees, in which I'm going to be talking about also the very sensitive points on a person. Then I'll also have some videos in which I'm going to bring my husband in so that he can be my, my guinea pig, and I'm gonna show a couple of techniques on him. And in the meantime, I wish for you that you are training, that you are, staying that super optimistic, super feminine, super whatever shy person that you are. And at the same time also implement the confidence, and that confidence implemented by doing something, by really training those things so that when you're in the situation, you can have the personality that you do have, and at the same time, you're also prepared for the situation, which is what ultimately gives you confidence. So confidence doesn't have to come, from your personality. It doesn't have to be a personality trait. It can very much come from getting used to a situation and doing it over and over and over again. And that's how you can build confidence, like perfect confidence. All right. And then have a look at your body posture. Have a look at the way that people are walking past you and look at them. Be upright, stand upright, and be assertive. Always have something on you that you can use to protect yourself, especially when you're, relatively small, and actually also if you're not small. For everybody, ideally you would have something on you, especially when you're in a very lonely street or the fields or the forest or whatever, and be prepared. Obviously be nice, but at the same time also choose if you want to be nice, if it feels right for you to be nice, or if you'd rather just be very neutral, not unfriendly, but just very neutral. If you feel the need to smile at every person walking by, then have a look on why that is. Where does that come from? And is there a way that you can, think about a situation differently? For example, I don't know that person, and actually right now I'm not feeling like smiling, or I don't know that person and I don't want to smile at that person. That's perfectly legit. You don't have to be nice to everybody. Again, not being unfriendly, but just, being neutral to people. And I hope that helps, and I'm very, very looking forward to be making the rest of the videos on all of the other topics. I hope that helps, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and rest of your evening, and I hope to see you for the next video. Bye bye.